Hello everyone, Stjepan here. I'm back from my game, but unfortunately I didn't play because my opponent didn't show up. What can you do? The league is played on 6 boards and 3 of their players didn't show up, so we automatically got points on these boards, but you don't win rating when your opponent doesn't show up. So I don't really care about the point since my team won. Anyway, I really wanted to play another game before I travel to Slovakia, so I'm unhappy. Therefore, I'm going to play a training game against Neroazzuro. He is rated 2100 classical, and he sent me a message that he also plays the Scandinavian, so we are going to probably be playing the Scandinavian whatever happens, even though he has experience in it. I don't, so this will be my first real test, which is good before Slovakia. So anyway, yeah, sorry for not recording the game, but I didn't play it. I ended up sitting on the board for an hour because okay, let me just accept the challenge. Okay, I got the white pieces, so he's 2156. Let me just say hello and good luck. Okay, so yeah, I ended up sitting on the board for an hour because your opponent has an hour to show up, and I basically wasted a lot of time. So I think we spoke about playing the knight f3 Scandinavian, so I'm going to play that. So let's see, we are playing a 30-minute game plus 5-second increment. Okay, if you haven't seen my video on the knight f3 Scandinavian, do see it. This is what I normally play against the Scandinavian. Only recently have I started playing knight c3. Okay. So now I should castle or play d4. d4 is the main move. After d4, bishop takes, knight takes. Yeah, he cannot take with the queen because I take the knight, so d4 is the main move. He can't take the knight because bishop takes, and if queen takes, I take on c6 with check, winning the queen. So it's not a gambit or anything, it's the best move. So now I can either play c4 or castles. c4 is the most active move. I can also play bishop e3, which is a normal move. So I guess I'm going to play the main line. Wait. Let me try to come up with something because he knows the opening well. Yeah, I think I'm going to play bishop e3 because it's a slightly rarer move. And in this line he wins a pawn. But I have a lot of activity for the pawn. So bishop takes f3 is the correct move, I think. No, it's not. Wait. I spent a lot of time preparing for what I was supposed to play today with the black pieces, and now I actually can't remember the lines. But yeah, it's better for it to happen in a training game than over the board in a tournament. So yeah, now castles, pawn takes. c4 is the move. I guess c4 is the move. Ugh, I can't remember anything now. c4, queen a5. Aha, c4, queen a5, knight c3. Yeah, I think that's... c4, queen a5, knight c3, bishop b4. I think, I mean, I need to play c4, d5, so I'm going to play c4. I'm struggling to remember the lines, which is horrible. Yeah. Okay, I remember the correct move now. Yeah, so it's bishop d2 and then d5. Okay, so now I remembered. And now d5. Okay, so this is the line. I'm slightly embarrassed that I didn't manage to remember all of that, but what can you do? So okay, I guess castles. Maybe knight c3. Yeah, knight c3. And then knight f3, queen f3 is possible. Okay. This is, I think this line is equal for black. Yeah, okay, so now the move was bishop e2, I think. I think it was bishop e2. Yeah. And I want to castle, play a3, and force him to take on c3. So yeah, I struggled to remember the lines, but yeah. So anyway, we won as a team 5-1. My teammate on board 6 had a winning position, and I wish I could show it to you now. But in a position in which he could have played the winning move, he played the only losing move, pinning his bishop and allowing either checkmate or losing a piece, so he lost a piece and blundered. Board 3 and board 4 won, and on board 1, 2 and 5 our opponents didn't show up, which is unfortunate. And I spent a lot of time preparing, but at least now I have some lines prepared for the London system. My opponent plays the London system all the time, and I prepared something which I'm finally happy about, and I finally have a weapon against the London system which isn't easy to understand or to break. It's a complicated variation which black has to play correctly, but since it's probably the factor of surprise is on my side because it's not a novelty, but it's a rare move, so it might be hard to play for white. Anyway, in 5 out of 6 most likely lines to happen, I managed to equalize on move 6, so it was great. Okay, a logical move. I'm wondering if I should castle before I play a3. I'm not sure though. I think I want to play a3 immediately. He's probably going to play knight e4 if I allow him to. So takes. I'm going to take with the pawn, reinforcing my center and opening up the b file. So I'm going to play a3, try to get the bishop off the board. If bishop here, then I'm probably going to play b4, and I'm not too scared of that. I think I have a better position because I have a queenside pawn majority, which isn't that easy to utilize because his king is castled queenside, but I have a faster attack than he does. I mean, he's not without chances, but I think white stands slightly better, even though according to the engines, I think black is equal. Let me just get my coffee, sorry. Sorry about that. So yeah, finally a longer time control game. 15 plus 15 is really not enough. What? Oh, it's a nice trick. A takes b4, queen takes rook, queen takes queen, knight check. So I cannot take the bishop. That's a nice trick he found. So I should just castle and renew the threat. Now it's not really clear where his bishop goes. If it goes to e7, then it's blocking the newly developed rook. And basically whatever happens, I'm going to play b4. I also would like to keep my light squared bishop, but moving it either to e3 or f3 or d3 runs into e4 with tempo. His queen is offside, which is great. So yeah, he had a hard time remembering the line, but yeah, c4, d5 is the plan, and then with bishop d2, bishop e2. Okay, I normally play c4, that's why I couldn't remember, but that just goes to show that you can't really learn an opening after you play it 5 times and study the theory. You need to play it more often. There are some lines which I can remember instantly, I don't even have to think about it. And some other lines which I've recently started playing or which I don't know as well or don't understand, it takes me time to remember. This one, I know the plans, but since I don't fully understand what black is doing, I sometimes struggle. So now the question is, whatever happens, he's going to take my e2 bishop. That much is clear. Do I want to open up the b file or not? I think I do. But my bishop, okay, if I open up the b file, so knight takes, queen takes, I always have bishop here, but then he has knight here in some positions after h5. So it's not really an easy decision. I'm happy to get the bishop pair, but I'm going to lose it in a moment. What's better, open up the b file or keep my pawn structure intact? Because I can never hope for c5, because then my d6 pawn is weak. Oh, there's another trick in the position. So, yeah, I missed something. He can take on d5. So whichever way I take, knight takes d5 because my queen is hanging. That's bad. Oh no, he doesn't have knight d5 because queen g4 check. So I was looking at something takes c3, knight takes e2, queen takes e2, knight takes d5, where I cannot take with the c pawn because my queen is hanging on e2, but I can interpose. I cannot interpose because he can. Yeah, he can't play f5 because I just take it with check. So let's just make sure. bc3, knight e2, queen e2, knight d5, queen g4 check, f5, queen takes f5. Okay, so it works. He can't take on f5, on d5. So now back to the question, bishop takes or pawn takes. If he plays b6, then how do I break through? So I can get my rook to b1, but then a3 is hanging. I don't have my light squared bishop anymore. If I take with the pawn, my bishop is sort of stuck. Not sure. Feels like this is the critical moment. Because if I take with the b pawn, I accept a worse pawn structure and sort of have to go for a queenside attack. If it doesn't work, I'm going to be worse. If I take with the bishop, I have pressure on e5, have pressure on g7. I can play b4. So yeah, I think I'm going to take with the bishop. I'm not really sure about this decision, but Yeah, something I forgot to calculate. He can take on d5 with the rook, and then the knight is defending g4, which is just disgusting. Ugh. Ugh. I see the idea and I miss the second piece which can take. I could just play rook e1 and defend my queen, threaten to take the rook. I think rook e1 is a sensible move, putting pressure on his e5 weakness. Now he's probably going to play rook c5. Then I probably have to play b3. I hate mistakes like this. I much prefer just not seeing something than seeing it and then calculating badly, seeing half the threat. Yeah, and maybe... Yeah, bishop takes was probably correct. I can now play f4 and then probably just take the knight. No, I cannot play f4. Ah, stupid blunders. But I don't think there was a way to save d5 after castles. After castles it was already over. Bishop takes, knight takes, queen takes, rook d5. There was nothing I could do after bishop takes c3. So castles was the mistake. So instead of castling, rook a to e1 saved the position, saved the pawn. Rook c5 is kind of passive, and I'm not really threatening to take the pawn. Well, maybe I am. I don't know, because if he moves the knight, I can reinforce the bishop with f4, and I can check on g4. So yeah, so bishop takes, rook e6, f4, knight somewhere, queen check. Maybe I can take. Maybe I can take. Bishop takes, rook e6, f4. He has knight d7, but queen g4. Still defending c4. I feel like if I don't win my pawn back, then I don't have a good position. If I manage to win it tactically, then it might work. So bishop e5, rook e6, f4, knight d7, queen g4. And if he plays f6, then I can always bring my bishop back to c3 and my rooks are defended. Otherwise he would have a double attack on e1, but bringing my bishop back actually saves the position. Does he have anything else? I'm not sure. Bishop e5, I think he has to play rook e6. If he doesn't play rook e6, then I'm not sure what he does. Bishop e5, rook e6, f4, knight, where? Knight d7 is the only sensible move. He could play queen a5, but then, then he would have to give up the exchange to win the pawn back. And I can also play b4. Fortune favors the brave, so I guess I should take this. I don't see how he can win my bishop, because I have f4. Bishop e5, rook e6, f4, knight d7, queen g4 check, queen g4, pinning the knight. So yeah, I might be badly wrong, but I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it. See what happens. I want to play rook takes so that I can threaten. Yeah, I'm not threatening anything. So he's going to win my b2 pawn. Definitely. Because he has a check on b6. So I think I'm going to take with the pawn. And if he takes on b2, I'm going to play rook b1. Just try to drum up some pressure against b7. I can also take on g7, defending e5. Might be scary, but... I'm not sure what he's considering. Queen b6, king h1, queen b2, rook b1. If b6, I have c5. Where does he move his queen, in fact? He only has c3 and a5. Then I can take on g7. I don't know if I want to take on g7, but I feel like I've managed to equalize. Okay, my e5 pawn is a weakness, but he has a weakness on g7, and It's an even game, perhaps a lot of chances for both sides because we have both rooks and the queen, so anything can happen really. And sorry if you can't see my time. Just I'll try to make this smaller. Okay. We might get into Zeitnot, so here. Hope it's better now. So yeah, I was counting on queen g4 pinning the rook on e6. That's why yeah, okay. So I'm wondering if he's going to take. He does take. So now if I play rook b1, he can take on e5. But only if I play my e-rook to b1. Do I really want to give up another pawn? That's the question. Oh, I can play rook a to b1, and if queen a3, I can play rook a1, winning a7. So that should work. Rook e to b1 would be a mistake because of queen e5. But now if rook a b1, queen e5, I can just take with the rook. And the queen is loose because the e6 rook is pinned. So rook a to b1 seems like a good move. If he takes on a3, yeah, I'm just going to... I can't win the a7 pawn. I'm such an idiot. Why do I keep making mistakes like this? Okay, so I can threaten mate. What does he do? Queen f3, queen a6, I guess, has to be played. Queen f3, queen a6, and I have nothing. I can take on f7, but that's just horrible. I guess I can take on g7 now, just keeping the e5 pawn defended enough. But maybe then queen e7. Then I can take on h7. I don't know, this is complicated. So queen g7 is the only move with which I can win one pawn back. I missed queen c5. Why did I miss queen c5? Do I have any tricks with rook b7? Rook b7, king b7, queen e4. King c8, rook b1, and he has queen a6 always. No, might actually work. Wait, rook b7, king b7, queen e4. If king c8, then I have queen a8 check, king d7, rook d1 check, king e7. Yeah, he's running away. He's running away. So queen g7 winning back one pawn, defending e5. Queen f3 runs into queen a6. After queen g7, I'm threatening to take both pawns. So with queen e7, I can go queen back to g4, pinning the rook. Yeah, I think I should just take the pawn. I mean, queen f3 is not a threat, so just going to take. He has rook g6, but I'm not too worried about that because I have queen f7. Queen e7. Yeah, I have back rank issues. If he plays queen e7, I have to play queen g4. I don't see another option. If I lose e5, then I'm going to be worse. Queen g4, and then with the plan of queen f3, because he doesn't have queen a6 anymore. If he attacks c4, then with queen c5, then once again queen g4, pinning the rook, defending c4. That should. I'm happy that his king is on c8. That's the only thing keeping my position together, because I always have this queen g4 pin. Otherwise, I'm still upset about losing d5. Maybe he should just move the king. If he moves the king, I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. Just king b8. I don't think I can take on f7. Or maybe I can. So king b8, queen f7, rook e5, queen e8, yeah, and I win. So I would have a trick there. So I'm looking at king b8, queen f7, rook e5, then I can take queen takes e8, rook takes e8, rook takes, check, mate. So yeah, this is, I was expecting either queen e7 or queen f8. So now queen g4 was my calculation, pinning the rook. And now I'm hoping that after queen g4, I can play queen f3, putting pressure on b7 without him being able to play queen a6. Obviously c6 or b6 would be just bad. If b6, queen a8, check, and I'm winning because of rook d1. So I think c6 will have to be played. King b8, what does he do after queen f3? c6, really? Now if he ever takes... now actually my e5 pawn is immune. After c6, rook to f1, if he takes on e5, then I can play queen takes c6. So now I'm happy with the position. I don't think I'm worse at all. I just have to move my rook away from the e-file to make sure I don't get back rank spanked, and it should be fine. And as I said, after c6, rook f1, he can never take on e5 because queen c6. Winning. Not winning, but better. Okay, he has that move. But I'm happy to trade off a pair of rooks. I mean, it's fine. And I have e6, so takes. I'm just going to play e6 immediately. Don't see what's wrong with that. Maybe he can take e6, pawn takes queen. Yeah, maybe I can't play e6. I'm sad e6 looked great. Okay. So I don't know, this is a queen and rook ending. He has a doubled extra pawn, that's not really that much. If e6, rook takes, loses immediately because of rook takes. If e6, pawn takes. Then I can take with the rook. I think I can play e6. So e6, fe6, rook e6. If queen takes queen, rook takes rook. Winning, so he needs to play. I'm not sure what he plays actually. e6, f takes e6, rook takes e6. If he takes with the rook, he loses the queen. If he takes my queen, he loses the rook. So he will have to play rook d8. And after rook d8, I can play h3, making some luft. So my rook is on e6, his rook is on d8. Is my rook better on e6 than on e1? I'm not sure. Is his rook better on d8 than on e8? Probably the same. e6, pawn takes, rook takes. Queen takes queen, rook takes rooks. Rook takes rook, queen takes queen. So he has to play rook d8. And then I have to play h3. So we are probably in a drawn rook ending there. I'm not sure, but I like e6. So let's go over that once again. e6, f takes e6. e6, f takes e6. Rook takes e6. If rook takes rook, I win the queen with check. If queen takes queen, I win the rook with check. So he has to play rook d8. I don't think I'm missing anything, so I'm just going to play it. If I trade off the queens, then the ending is definitely a draw. Perhaps I even have winning chances because of 2-1 on the king side, but it should be a draw. His extra pawn shouldn't be that much. Yeah, he has that. Ugh. But I was counting on one trick, yeah, which doesn't work. Yeah, not very good. So yeah, now it's trickier. I have to play h3, and well, he's 2 pawns up. Made a mistake. How do I get my queen on a3? That's what I'm wondering. I want to play rook a1, queen a3, but his queen is controlling a3. Still, I think rook a1 is the correct move, just trying to put pressure on his position. This is basically my only chance. The ending is lost if I don't do anything, so I need to get some tricks going. Probably after f6 I have nothing, but maybe I have some chances. Yeah, e6 was just a bad move. So I lost 2 pawns in a very simple way. I don't know. If I get my queen to a2, he's going to play f6, and I don't see anything happening there. Have to try it though. I have no other option. At least g6 is loose now. I need to create a mating net if I'm going to survive this game. The pawn ending is obviously losing. Maybe I can try queen a2, f6 check, king f7, rook b1. And then I'm putting pressure on the pawn, but he has queen c5. After queen c5, I don't think I have anything. Maybe then I can try rook f1. So let's see what happens. I have to go for this, nothing else. Yeah, I just queen c5 and he should be fine. Yeah. Doesn't seem like I have that much. Maybe I can get some checks going in, but I doubt it. Bad play. e6 was a bad move. I think the ending was just a draw with correct play, but after e6... I'm going to fight on still. There's a lot of chances with queen and rook on the board. Now either rook d8 or rook f8, probably. I'm going to try to win the e3 pawn somehow. Still, I think it was a good game. We played theory, and then I'm actually happy I saw this idea with rook d5, because better to miss it in a training game than in a real game, and it's very likely to occur in a real game because we played mainline theory after bishop e3. Yeah, in a tournament game I would probably play c4, but still, bishop e3 seems nice, and I'm going to study these lines and make sure I don't hang d5 anymore. So after, on move 14, I shouldn't castle, I should play rook a to e1. Even though it seems counterintuitive, I want to sort of keep my rook on the a file. But yeah, instead of castling rook a to e1, we'll see with an engine after the game, but I think that was the correct idea. Still, I'm not going down without a fight. Let him win the game if he can. I mean, of course he can, he's 2 pawns up, but let's see his conversion. Let's see his technique. It's always tricky to play with rook and queen on the board, even though you're a couple of pawns up. There are always some checks. I'm not sure what he's thinking about. Not sure this is a good move. This attacks my b1 rook, but I can play rook f1. He doesn't have queen f2 because I take with the rook. I wanted to get my rook to f7 anyway, so I'm not too worried about this move. Just going to play rook f1. So rook f7, rook e7, probably. Do I have anything else? No. Maybe just rook f3, trying to lock down his pieces, and queen a1, just king h2. If I can win the e3 pawn, then still drawing chances. This is Zugzwang probably? I'm not sure. What can I do? Maybe I have to just move my king around. I don't know. I don't think I have any sensible moves. Maybe he should play h5, h4. If h5, h4, I always have rook f1. I don't know. He wants to play queen d2. He wants to play queen d2. What do I do after queen d2? Queen d2 is annoying. Queen d2, queen takes, e takes, rook d3, rook e2. That seems fine actually, I can get my pawn majority going. Can play king g3, get my king around. Still it's Zugzwang. Maybe just rook g3, trying to wait. So okay, queen d2, e d2, rook d3, rook e2, h4. Something happening on the queen side, like b5, king h3, or takes, c takes b5, c takes b5, king h3, and I want to play g4, g5. So I'm not sure. Maybe I'm losing. Probably I'm losing, but I don't see what I can do, so I'm just going to wait. And this was a horrible waiting move because he has queen e5. It's just the worst wasting move I could have played. Just maybe I have to play h4 if queen e5. I probably have to play h4 if queen e5. I have no other moves. I cannot move my queen because e2. Cannot move my rook because it's pinned. Okay, he's going for this. Luckily, I'm not going to lose immediately. Okay, so takes. Rook here. I missed that. Okay. Yeah, okay. I completely missed rook d7. Wait, let me just say good game. Yeah, okay, so rook d5, e6, and yeah. Okay, let's analyze the position. Okay, analysis board. So let's see. E4, d5, castles, bishop e3. Yeah, I usually play c4, but bishop e3, e5, c4, correct. Bishop here, correct. We played all the best moves. Bishop e2, this was correct. Bishop d3, I don't know. a3 is the best move. Okay, and now... Yeah, what was I talking about? Rook a to e1. My king is on e1, and my queen is on d1. It's just horrible. Yeah, but basically if I don't castle, then my king is still defended, so... Castles was the mistake, just... Rook c1, and... Yeah, he's forced to take, and he doesn't have these tricks anymore. Because my king is defending my queen. So it's a much better position. But anyway, after castles, he has to be better because of bishop takes. Here, yeah, knight takes, queen takes, and rook d5. Yeah. Rook fe1, rook d6. Perhaps taking was bad, but okay, it says -1, not too bad. Knight d7. Why is queen g4 bad? Okay, queen c4, but so what? Knight takes c5, f takes c5, queen b6 check, king h1, queen takes b2. Yeah, maybe allowing a3 was a mistake. This is so much better for black. I'm surprised. Queen g4. Wow, I really didn't think it was so much worse. Yeah, this thought didn't even occur to me. But what happens after queen takes? So rook b6, rook takes b6, a takes b6. Yeah, e6 was just, because of the back rank, it was just a bad move. Queen e7, h3. Yeah, okay. There's no hope anymore. This is just losing. So coming back to the problem move, after rook h to e8, castles was the mistake. Otherwise, I have a better position. He has to lose the tempo moving the bishop, and yeah, I have a better center. I have more space, and my position is comfortable. Castles is bad because I lose d5. But yeah, a valuable lesson. Valuable lesson in the f3 Scandinavian, knight f3 Scandinavian. Let me know what you think about the game. Hope you liked it. Hope you managed to learn something. I definitely have. Now I'm always going to look out for rook takes d5 in these variations, and actually like bishop e3 might switch to that completely, because I think the positions are very comfortable, and this was with black's best play basically before I blundered the pawn, and they still had a better position. Okay, thanks very much for the support once again. Sorry I couldn't record my league game, but I didn't play my league game. See you tomorrow with another training game. Stay tuned for more chess. Bye bye.